What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it really quick. The teachers have been put in a very, predominantly uncomfortable situation of uncertainty since the education department. What's up, Nicole B. John? Since all these changes and arrangements were made, it's made it virtually impossible for anyone to take this seriously. You know, you said your mom, y'all was just talking about that. Well, a lot of people in the world were just talking about it. But it's a mess. I have a cousin who's a teacher, and they're not back to school. They're doing virtual learning. And in November, they're going to try to get them to come back to school. Some schools are open, some are just closed, and they're doing all virtual learning, which means what for the teachers? Some teachers are opposed to going back to class because it puts them at risk. They want to make sure that the city is making sure that they're safe instead of trying to rush them back into class. So, and rightfully so, most of the teachers have children of their own. But kudos to the teachers who's trying to make the best out of a bad situation. They're hitting this thing because most teachers, what you might not know, might not be internet savvy. A lot of them are not. So this virtual learning thing that they got that's going on. Well, see, here's the thing. Younger kids, they learn better than older kids. When people are teenagers, they become more defiant. It's just been that way. And it depends on where you teach. We have plenty of women that we knew that are teachers. Uh, I don't know any male teachers. I know one male teacher. But in the rich area, the parents are very, my son sits here, my son eats this, make sure, I mean, they are like that. And they basically control the principal in the school because of who they are, or they're a powerful lawyer. And their son come in with this privilege over the kids, and the teacher's like, what? And then the principal be like, no, just don't bother him. He gets like that, it's okay. Let him have his space. Don't chastise him, don't yell at him. So you're handcuffed as a teacher, and it's hard to educate that way. The pandemic made all the old teachers retire. I mean, it would, because most of them don't get on the internet and know how to even work this virtual learning. They've been teaching people classes. I'm like, okay, so you're online telling people how to get online. Let's see how that works. Like, go on a Zoom and I'm going to teach you how to go online. Oh, wait a minute. You can't get on there. You don't know how to do that either. You say your wife is a teacher too, doing the distance thing? Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you one thing, something was in the air. Because even those who didn't get sick was getting messed up in some kind of way. You just don't know the effects. You might have some hearing loss, your sinuses messed up, but it's definitely something that was out here. Yeah, so I mean, just think about it. My cousin, she went up to like fifth grade. Fifth graders she could deal with a lot better than the younger kids. And she definitely did not want to teach high school or eighth grade kids. She didn't want to deal with that. So she wanted to be a fifth grade teacher, dealing with 10-year olds. That's more her speed because she's like, I can't deal with the younger kids, kindergarten, first, second grades, and I definitely don't want eighth graders and seventh graders. So anything from fourth and fifth, I'm there. Parents are losing sight on being the primary teachers. Some of them are, but it here's the thing, Casey. Most of the parents, some of them are incapable of doing that. It's just not what they do. You might have a working mom and her sitting back teaching you, and she's not one of those parental moms. Like, I can tell you right now, that wasn't my mom. My mom was business oriented. My dad, he is that kind of guy. We're going to do the project together. We're going to cut it out. We're going to do the whole thing, the reports, all that stuff. He is that kind of father. My mom is I did it on my own and got straight A's. You can do it on your own and get straight A's. She's that type. So some of these parents, a lot of the parents of today hadn't been properly educated in the first place. So they don't even know what to teach their kids anyway. A lot of them don't read to their kids. That's very, I would say, early stages. Reading to your children is so important. In the first 4 years, reading to them, getting them interested in stories and reading. Yeah, but it's like, what do you teach? If you don't know anything, how could you teach it? A lot of parents don't know. They weren't taught. They don't know how to teach something. So they only teach them what they know. So they learn bad habits. They learn watching TV early. They let the TVs raise the kids. They sit them in front of a TV, turn on the TV, and turn on Teletubbies or Veggie Tales and let them try to educate the kids. But when you read to your children, it opens up a door. It opens up a door of interaction. You're interacting with the child. So the child is more engaged with interaction. So you're preparing them for how to interact with other people, the way you interact with your child, and getting them to respond and getting them to speak. Stand up straight, don't slouch, speak. Then they start getting their confidence. Because if their kids can stand in front of you and start reading stuff, so when they be like, let me read this to you, they start writing their own stuff and wanting to read it because they're used to being read to. They want to read and write and do these things and be creative It really taps into their creative key. I used to read to my baby sister all the time. Well, many of us are in different situations. Sometimes, like, you got to work a lot and it's not going to be the situation you think it's going to be. Um, the mom's at home. She watching her shows. She's watching court shows, loving hip hop, all these reality shows, and the kid is sitting there not watching any kid programs, watching this. Or they it's very little limited interaction of the parent doing the educating because the parent don't know what to educate them. Parent don't know any kid songs. They're not listening to any kid songs on the radio. They're not doing anything. Like if I'm in the car with children that's little, I'm not gonna play what I'm listening to. I'm gonna listen to some kiddie songs or whatever songs they listening to. The wheels on the bus go round and round. We gonna listen to that and get to y'all. We get to where we got to go. I'm not gonna put them in an adult situation. 16-hour days on games and tablets. Yeah, that is it warps their personality a little bit, I believe. Electronics and games. I would put a limit on it because when they're young, I think a limit is important because they become like obsessed and they personality change and they start obsessing only over games. And I think that's bad. I think that's really bad for children. That's why they put the age restriction on some of these games. Some of these games, children shouldn't even be playing or even allowed to see until they're a certain age because it affects their personality and they become unattached and it warps their empathy. A lot of their empathy is warped by video games. They're seeing so much death and killing that they just be like they become numb to it because they've seen it on a video game so much. In real life, their emotions are off. So in situations where someone would show empathy and they don't have any. Some of them just lack it from playing video games all these years of just shooting and uh playing Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty, all of these shoot 'em up games since they were a young kid until now. Right. Board games were meant for families and friends, and it teaches you interaction and you're having fun with the family. So those board games was always a good way to communicate with family. We would play Monopoly, definitely. I would win because I would definitely cheat eventually in Monopoly. And next thing you know, I'm the banker. I would always, it'd be a bunch of arguments, and I would always end up the banker. And they're like, "How are you the banker?" Hey, it's just what it is. I'm the banker. Yeah. My sister had, I made sure she had flashcards. She had all the educational things that she needed. Me, Other kids, like if you have smaller kids, they learn from the older kids. So if you have a child that's like 2 years older, the younger kid normally learns at a faster rate than the bigger kid because he grew up by himself, and the younger kid grew up with a brother. So only everything the brother's doing, he's doing. So he's normally 2 years above his age. He's learning 2 years above what he other kids probably at his school are not learning because he got big brothers. So they speed up and then they end up growing up having friends that's older than them because they've been hanging out with older people all their lives because he's been hanging out with his brother's friends. Well, some of them are a product of their environment. Other people are not. Like I grew up in the Robert Taylor homes. I was supposed to be dead or in jail coming from there. Like I said, our family was the Cosbys. None of us was in jail. None of us smoked. None of my family had tattoos. We weren't a product of our environment. Our environment was around us was like Beirut. But you wouldn't know it in our household because we didn't conduct ourselves like that. So it's like you say, you grow up in the slums, you just don't let the slums grow in you. Right. In our home, that's our environment. So if you have a stable family environment where the teaching and education and everything and the rules and the structure of family, like it takes all of us to look out for each other. You take that even when you walk outside the door. Most people don't have that. They go and get involved in stuff. They run in the streets because the household is not stable. So if you don't have a stable household, you come home is you just run in and run out. You normally go run out and get into trouble. I knew better than to go run out and get into trouble. That's right. I was a product of what my parents instilled into me. My grandparents, my uncles, my auntie. It took all of them. It takes a village. It took the whole village. I learned from everybody in that household. Of course, children are gonna pick up what they learn in the house. Even though a parent will say, "Hey, do as I say, not as I do," kids are gonna pick up what you do. It's funny because my sister she was growing up. She's watching my mom all the time, always yelling and dictating and doing this. So she started doing that to her Barbie dolls as a kid. She's in there scolding the Barbie doll. And sit there and you done. Kids do and they pick up what they see. She's in there scolding the dolls. Oh, we know that. We know parents are not doing their jobs at home. It's a lot of parents not doing their jobs at home because a lot of them have to learn on the fly. You got to understand how they were raised and how they teach their kids, how they take care of their children. Is raising kids is probably the hardest thing a human being could ever do because one, this is somebody you care about more than yourself. They will always come before you, and you will put your life in front of the kids. No hesitation. So when that's done, you got to realize that you got to teach them. They need you. Somebody has to depend on you, and you have to take care of another life. So Tia did exactly that. Well, the thing is, some parents are not. They only can. Is you don't have to be a scholar to help out with your kids at home. You don't. They just need interaction. A little bit of, hey, how was school today? What did you learn today? What did y'all cover? What did y'all go over? Let me see your homework. Reassuring them, being proud of them, putting their work on the refrigerator when they get good grades. All of these things are reassuring to children. If you're not interested in them doing homework, you don't never ask, don't care. Why would they care about doing it? No, no. They'll get the homework, it'll sit in the bag, it won't be done. Who would care? If you don't have values, you can't instill values. And most of the parents today in these younger generations, they weren't instilled with values. They just ran wild. They didn't know anything. They didn't know how to or who to teach or how to teach someone. So they just know what they know. Give them some food, give them a bottle, tell them to shut up, sit down somewhere. They're blasting music. They don't care what it's doing to the kid, the baby's ears. They don't know what to do when they sick. These type of things are a problem in the urban community, in what we say the poor community, than we see in the upper to you know what they would call average households. The thing is, we were all raised differently. Doesn't mean that one was better than the other. Sometimes you have a spouse that can do everything. You know, like I got a cousin that this I don't know where he would be if it wasn't for his wife. Like she saved his life. She literally saved his life. She raised the kids basically on her own. She basically raised. He was there, but she basically raised the kids on her own. Throughout the postseason. So you're looking at a situation where you got to start thinking, well, what did this guy really do? What was the real reason for this situation? Like, what is happening here right now as we speaking? People got to ask these questions and come to the table. You gotta come to the table and say what's best for your child. And I don't know what my cousin, he couldn't teach the kids anything really. Um, all he could do is be a disciplinarian, and that seems to be the main thing that we pick up in the urban communities and the poor communities. We pick up the disciplinarian part more than the educational part and the bonding and the interaction. We pick that up because normally that's what a lot of us grew up getting yelled at, and that's what they know. So it's always an argument more than an explanation about everything. Lack of communication. Shut up, sit down, boy, because I told you to. Sit down. Now eat the food. Go to your room. They get them all the toys, video games, but nothing educational. But then, just because somebody's poor does not mean that they have poor educational skills in teaching. You have those who are very interactive, and those are the ones that end up making it out the situations that they're in. They don't see the world as hopeless as a lot of people. They have hope for the future. Well, see, me, I'm transparent. Everything about me, everybody normally gets to see here on YouTube. So it's like no hiding of anything. So it's so transparent. Like everybody can, they be like, I know what you did Wednesday because I saw you all day. I saw you when you went here. You was at that bar. You went there. Then you was at Jenny's house. You was on her live. Then you went and drove in the car. You was live. Then you was live over there playing football with Gavin. Then you was live when you went. So you basically see my entire day. Absolutely. Oh, but a parent has no problem in telling a child what he's doing wrong. Thanks, JT. I appreciate that. I forgot. Sometimes I forget which account I'm on. Yeah, I'm on One Crack News. Subscribe if you just got here. And yes, we got super chat over here. I'll be forgetting over here I got super chat. On the other ones, I don't. See, a parent love to tell a child what he's doing wrong, but they never tell a child normally what they're doing right. And sometimes you just don't have the parents that are those who interact or want to say, hey, do tests. Me, I was always interactive with my baby sister because I wanted her to know everything I didn't know at that age. Everything I didn't get to have, she get to have. So that was like raising my kid. She was gonna learn everything. I read her books, Tweety Birds, everything. We were picking colors. Right. Like I would take her work. She would do some scribble thing, and I don't know what it was, but it'd go up on the refrigerator and it would make her day. So when she went to school, she wanted to do good in school. Because when she go to school, she wants to do good because if you get them with that positive reinforcement and going to school doing, she's like, if I do good, they're gonna be really proud of me. It meant something to be, when your parents were proud of you. So they wanted to see that. They wanted to see the family proud of them for doing something good. But if you don't ask them, how was school today? What did you learn? Do any homework? If you don't ask these questions, you're not, you're not, it's like you're failing them. In most sense, you're failing them. And 9 times out of 10, that child will be in your household till he's 40 or 50 and might not ever leave. You don't have to beat a child. I mean, that's the thing. Spankings and all that stuff, yeah, it gets a point across at some point that, hey, mom ain't playing, but you don't even have to do that with today's kids. You don't have to, all you're going to do is take a phone away. Oh, thanks, Casey. All you have to do is take a phone away. Take the video game. These kids today, they don't go outside. Remember in our day, they'd say, yeah, you can't go outside. And we'd be, why? Why? I used to have my friends on the porch because I couldn't go outside. I'll be mad. I'll be like, but can I go in the backyard? I'm not outside. I'm just in the backyard. I'm going to just take out the trash. And I'm hanging out in the backyard with my friends. Like, I'm not outside, though. I didn't go outside the gate. I'm still in the yard. I'm going to rake the grass. We wanted to be outside. Sometimes there might be a time when you have to spank them. That might happen. Now, beating that's a difference from spanking a child or disciplining a child. But you can't use that as the only method of punishment all the time or your major, because a kid will grow immune to it. They will grow immune to it. It won't mean nothing to them. And they'll just be bad. And they just be like, I'm just gonna get a whooping and I'll be all right after. Then when you see them growing immune, the parents step the level up to where it's at abuse level. Next thing you know, you're getting switches, you got welts, and that's just so unnecessary. That's like extreme. Down south, they used to say, go get me that switch off that tree. You used to have to go get a switch for your own beatdown. Go get that switch. Yeah. Well, the older they act like they don't hear you and they get absent-minded. And that's really when you finna get the whooping. That's when taking the controllers away, mom is finna, you didn't press mom buttons. When she trying to tell you something and you not trying to listen, oh, she gonna tear that butt up. Oh, the syllable whoopings. What did that did you don't did got did not tell you? It ain't even making no sense. Then out of desperation, you just happen to catch the belt. Because it's just a natural reflex of your body. The belt's coming in, you just reach. You're just trying to stop it. Your body is trying to stop the whooping. And then they go, oh. Now you gonna grab the belt. Then they like, okay, and they start wrapping the belt up around their hand, getting closer to you, and you like can't let it go. And they get up there, and the belt is almost to you. Then they snatch it away, and it'd be like a little part of the belt, and they give you that little 1 inch of the belt whooping. Ah! Then it always follows with go to bed. It'd be 3 in the afternoon. Oh yeah, Adrian Peterson, man, that ruined his career when he whooped his son with a switch down in Houston. Sean Casey, the same Sean, he works for the county. He does tech work for the county in Houston, and they had Adrian Peterson down there. So he was in there when they were doing the case and everything. So he got to saw the pictures, and he said that's why he was found guilty, because the pictures show like when you hit someone with a switch, even if they got pants on or some shorts, it's gonna leave a welt. And he had a cut on his private parts. The boy did cut from the thing, and it just that just made a jury just lose their mind. Oh, he's an animal. And look how big and strong he is. He's a big NFL running back. How dare him hurt that child? And he just was giving him a whoop. And everybody else was like, just gave him a whooping, told his butt up. What? Okay, well, I don't see the problem here. But him and his mom wasn't together. So she was livid. And when the two parents have two ways of discipline, it is what it is. I mean, right, but he don't know. He knows tear somebody butt up. That's all they know. You think my family in the city, they heard anything about this new rule of what you can and can't do? I got somebody, they stuck in 1972. They ain't left 1972. They on the west side, and they matter of fact, they clothes is still 1972. I don't think they bought nothing new since 72. They got this rayon shirt with some pants, some slacks, and it's 85 degrees outside, and they dressed up and ain't going nowhere. They be dressed up outside on the corner just talking with a can of beer. I don't know where they got the beer from, but they seem to have that can of beer that you have never seen sold in stores since 1972. I'll be like, what kind of beer is this? Slits. Slits. Slits beer. I'm like, slits? What in the world is slits? And they'll be out there. And those people are parents. And they parent from outside. Hey, get in there and sit down somewhere and shut up. Now, like I was saying, man, what you got to do is you got to check this situation right now. Yeah, I'm going to go down there. Boy, stop running down there that fast. You're going to trip and fall. Matter of fact, get in the house. Now, what I was saying was, yeah, now they got to go get a belt and tear somebody up. Those type of people, they gonna tear you up. They ain't heard no new rules, what you can and can't do. They coming with the shoe, whatever they find in their area, you getting it. Slits. The shut up prank for dads? No, I never saw that. But what I did notice, yeah, I'm thinking of doing a stream yard for the Laker game. Oh, when the child tells the mom to shut up, I don't think I've ever told my mom to shut up, and I'm overgrown. Shut up. My mom has never heard me use profanity. And shut up. I've never told my mother to shut up. I'm right now. I'll be making my funeral plans. I'll just be locking the door, and while the door getting knocked off the hinges, I'll be writing my letter. This is it. I want to say thank you guys who've all subscribed to me for these years. This is it. I'm gone. I just got to say, Ma, I mixed some medicines. I don't know what's going on with me. I took this pill and that pill. Please don't hurt. Because it's over for me. It's not really the masculine thing. It's just that, and because I know some households, the mom is more feared than the father, but it's because the person you're around the most, and it's weird. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in like children. The person who's around the least, that's the one they normally fear the most and want to be with the most because that's what they don't have. That person they don't get to see that much. Normally, dad's out working all the time, so when he come back, as soon as he come in the house, they want dad's attention because they don't see him all the time. Mom is normally around you more, so you take that for granted. And the parent that's around the least, you should have more appreciation for mom. She's the one that's feeding and cleaning and doing everything for you. But they have more appreciation for dad. Dad's home. Yay! Dad is because they don't see dad that much, or dad's normally working. That normally was the case. But when it comes to well, yeah, even if both parents are in the house, I'm saying normally in most cases, dad is gone and the mom is normally with the kids more than the father is around the kids in most situations. Because the mother's been the one raising you, she's been taking care of you, she the one had the maternity leave and was doing everything with you. So when dad comes home, because it's just like a celebration. All right, your dad's coming home. As soon as he hit the door, he about exhausted. He put down the bag, kids are grabbing his legs. Dad, that's what happened today, Dad. Dad get all the love and praise because he been gone all day. Now that would be reversed if dad was at home all the time and mom was gone. Oh yeah, you need both. Oh yeah, dad handles the discipline. It's like when you don't want to listen to mom, okay, here comes dad. Well, not having both and the destruction of family started in the 70s when they started the welfare. I mean, Yeah, the welfare system plan, where they start saying if you don't have a man in the house, we'll replace him with a check. And most families was like, well, they wanted the check so bad, they went ahead and was hiding the man down at somebody else's house so they can get the money. They would actually send an agent to the house to investigate, walk through your house to make sure no man was living there. I mean, back then it was brutal. Like they'd be looking in your windows, like they were like insurance injustice or something. They were going around to make sure, like, you said you were disabled. There you were pushing a lawnmower. These guys were on it back then. They was habitual. They walked through your house. Walk through your house. Looking, trying to make sure the man ain't hiding under the bed. And if they find him staying there and they ask him, hey, what's your name? And get all this information, you cut off welfare. And then you got to go down there and refile all over again. Our family said, screw that. Our family said, forget that. My grandfather wasn't leaving the family. He was staying home. Then the single mother epidemic. Exactly. Then all the benefits was given to the single mom. The single mother, as we was watching doing a live stream we was doing on StreamYard, the mother, nothing happens to her. She can abandon her child, drop her kid off anywhere at a police station, a hospital, and say she don't want to take care of the kid. Nothing happens to the mom. They said no problem. But if a father decides he don't want to be involved, oh, child support. You got to pay some money. Huh? So the woman can decide if she wants to keep my child or not. She can decide every single thing. I have no say, but yet I go to jail if I'm not paying child support. But she can decide she don't want the baby no more, and nothing happens to her. She gets to go home and make another one. So and Obama put a plan in place where if you're a single mom, you got free college. Your college was paid for. You got free college if you were a single mom. So if you had a baby, all you had to do was get a baby. And this one girl, she wanted to go to college, but exactly. Plus, your child grows up, and once he goes through the teen years, he starts challenging the mom. Because he feels he's a man now, and he's grown, and he's being harder to control, and he's running out, getting into trouble. Shut up, mom, and talking back because he big now. He want to challenge the mom. So the male in the household would check that aggression immediately and curb it right at the door. So now the mom got to be the mother and the father. Yes, they actually did. A lot of women took advantage of that opportunity to go to school. Why you think all of them are in nursing? Have you ever ran into a girl? I'm in nursing, but they never want to strive to be the nurse. They just want to be some type of clerk or intern and get a good job, just to say they get nurse. Rest in peace, Frank. That'll be me too, Frank. I'd have been gone. I couldn't say 10 of those words. I'll be still getting picked up off the ground. But that's what I said. Everybody parents differently. Yeah, I mean that if the government's paying you to not have a man, you gonna think, oh man, ain't nothing. Meanwhile, you got living assisted living where you're paying $35 in rent, and somebody next door, a man who got a place, the man who's living right next door to you, my boy, he's talking about he hating on Jimmy Butler. He man, I'm like, it ain't his fault what happened to Derrick Rose. But the person next door to you is paying $1,200 in rent, and you paying $35, and then talking about men ain't nothing. No, you got assisted living where the government is paying your rent, so you can go out to the club every night and party it up every weekend because your rent is $35. Shoot, I'll come in your house and pay your rent and pay your bills. He's like, I gotta pay 1,200 to live in the same building. I agree, Casey. A single mama with 3 kids to pay $100 a month for a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, while you gotta pay 2,500. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. The pay differentials is crazy. And then a man who's taking care of the kids and he on welfare got to go through hell before he gets approved. Well, if you don't grow up in a nurturing educational school system, it's going to be harder for you to succeed in life because you grew up in a school system was not nurturing you to grow. They were just pushing kids along and just getting the money from the city and the state. They're like, look, we're gonna get the money from the city and the state. Look, I don't want to be bothered with this kid another year. Push him forward. And you end up with players like Dexter Manley, who made the NFL and never could read. Couldn't read, and he was in the NFL, one of the best players in the NFL at the time when he played, and he couldn't read. He had a newspaper that had the celebration that won the Super Bowl, and the only word he could read on there was win. He said, I know that word's win. Couldn't read. Made it all through school, high school, college, everything. Could not read. That was Dexter Manley. Floyd can read. What you talking about? Yeah, they won the Super Bowl and everything, and only word he knew on that paper was win. That was it. They held up the paper. He's like, only word I know on there is I see win. It's the only thing I know. Yeah, actually, people have been hitting the like button. We got like 40 likes and 50 people. So everybody definitely is liking this video. Well, Outlaw, the thing about Floyd is Floyd had a stuttering problem, just like his father. You know, they when it's I don't know what it is, but I guess if you come in a household where a lot of people stutter, you stutter too. I don't know what it is, but like Floyd Senior stuttered, and the Floyd used to stutter a lot when he spoke. But things changed right away.
Today, every business is digital. From web design and development.
Yeah, Milwaukee got to calm everything down. I mean, Miami, they just got to calm this emotion down. You know, they playing without Giannis. It'll be all right. I don't know what Iguodala's doing out here. Shooting threes. You don't need a three. You just need to calm things down. Yep. Good D, Iggy. Give it to Jimmy. Oh, come on. You got to make those, Tyler. We got to get this team up out of here. I don't want to see Milwaukee no more. That's it. This should be it. They should already be gone. He walked. All right. Y'all making Middleton think he's somebody. Tyler Hero finna shoot them out of the game. Oh man, Outlaw. That's bad. She said I'm ignorant about sports. She said, I got a husband that handles that department. see, see that's what I like about Casey. She's okay with letting the man be the man. You know, that's like okay. You know, he ain't like enslaving me and treating me like a dog just because that's what most women think. You ain't gonna be my boss. So I ain't trying to be your boss. Trying to be your husband. Let him be the husband. Oh my God. This wasn't even on Jimmy. I'm like, they just pumped up. Refrigerators are expensive. Everything is expensive, especially if you get a house. You get a house, you can forget about it. Everything's expensive. Oh, the video's out now. Oh, and Eric is on there. He's made an appearance. Uh-oh. We get to see the great husband of Casey. We get to see Eric. He is in town. Dragic, what is you doing, man? He didn't even pass the ball. Well, at least he scored. All right, end of the first quarter. 1928. Milwaukee came out pumped up. We'll be all right. Yeah, trying to stretch this out. Nicole B, 8 years married. You, man, I saw her once on the Jenny page. Jenny be like, where are my women at? I don't know. I think I got more female followers than Jenny. It's crazy how that worked. The females following me and the males following Jenny. She like, I'll be all over you too. I see. Of course, the first thing you do, that's why people go out and they buy ice and they try to put the meat and everything on ice. They go to the nearest gas station, buying up a whole bunch of ice. And they trying to see what they got to cook right away. Oh, what's up, Mr. Gordon? He said that dope fiend story in Nashville. You know some of the streets he was talking about. Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna say I know them dope fiends. Yeah, we had dope fiend stories, volume 1, man. I said only in a dope fiend environment where they talk like this is just a normal, like everything he's saying to, and I was like, he's like, I'm in Nashville. And DB Todd's out there, yeah. Uh-oh, Jimmy Butler got the Jordan Jumpman diamond low. Look at old Jimmy. All right, I'm gonna get back to focusing on this game. We got to get Milwaukee up out of here. Oh God, they finna try to keep Milwaukee around. Now I just saw them give Bledsoe just a dirty foul call that just ticked me off. But thank y'all for staying, man. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I appreciate that. Thanks for you guys who gave me the super chat. Thank you, Casey, for all your support. Now I am gonna watch your video because I want to see Eric in the video, definitely. And I'm out.